So to start with the wreath, you're gonna buy a styrofoam ring like this. I bought this little one at Joann's for I think $5, but you can use their coupon to make it a little bit cheaper. I laid down a piece of wax paper just because I really like how this cleans up compared to newspaper. It doesn't seep through, it's just a lot easier to clean up. You're gonna need some green acrylic paint. You can also use spray paint if you like, particularly since this is quite porous, it will seep in a lot of the paint. But I'm going to use acrylic just because I don't want the spray paint to possibly melt down. I'm gonna squeeze a bit of this green just into the center. Let it fart, you know, whatever. And I'm gonna use a really cheap brush. This one has really stiff bristles. This one is a 1.5 inch pure bristle brush. You can get this for $1 at Michael's. I'm just gonna use this because it does have those thicker bristles. It'll help me get inside the pores a little bit better. So much about the outside. You wanna get the inside really well. So there you have it, this big bright green ring. Hey, I have a green thumb. Get it? I have a green thumb. Take some gold glitter spray and spray it over the top of the green. Now you want to make sure that when you do this, you have the acrylic base underneath. And now I'm going to go ahead and spray a little bit. Now you can see gold glitters. Because it is St. Patty's Day, you want some gold and green together, so let that completely dry. So this is finally dried. It has dried overnight. So now you can get a nice sense of the gold glitter on the green sphere, as I'm gonna call it. So now to assemble this, what you're gonna need is a green ribbon of sort, but I got it at Joann's. It was on the clearance rack, and it's this ruffly, lacy ribbon. And I bought, I think, half a yard of this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to glue this around the peripheral of this sphere, just so it looks really cute and girly, I guess, frilly and spring-like. The internal part of this, the bells and the leprechaun hat. Isn't that really cute? It was $5 at Joann's minus their special sale that they had. I think it was 40% off. And then I had an additional coupon, so it made this about $1.50, and it was perfect for this because hang it inside and leave the bells hanging on the bottom, and then just have all of your other decorations around it. And the final thing that you would want are your charms. I made a separate video on how to make these because it is more time intensive. The first thing I'm going to do is glue on this ribbon. And to do that, I'm going to take Aleene's tacky spray glue just because it's fast and easy. So I'm going to glue on one end here, just a nice little coating of glue. Let that sit for a second. And then I'm going to take the fabric, hold it down in place for a second here while the glue has a chance to dry and get a little bit more tacky. Quickly do a couple spritzes. Do the same. And then on the very end here, cut it where you need to cut. So then you'll want to let that dry for a little while. What you do is take your centerpiece, and since this is kind of heavy, it's wire and bells obviously. I'm going to take some craft wire like this. It's really soft and pliable. I'm going to wrap a little piece of this around the top of my leprechaun hat. Let me zoom you in so you can see that. So then I'm going to cut so there's 2 antennas here, so to speak. And then I'm going to do it again. So now there's 4 sticking up, and I'm going to do the same and cut it again. I'm going to twist all of these together, and it's easier if you take 2 on 2 and twist them together like so. I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to press it and feed it into that styrofoam just like that to hold it. The reason I chose 4 wires is so that it would be strong enough to hold this to be more easily fed into the styrofoam here. So now it looks like this, and it actually hangs well. You can disguise that with additional decorations, which I'm going to show you now. So now you're going to take these cute little clovers that you made. You're going to start sticking them into the styrofoam. And don't worry if they don't stick straight up, because it's going to look a bit whimsical when you're finished. So by the time you've finished adding all your clovers on, it will look a bit like this. So it looks a little crazy with all the clovers, but isn't it adorable? The final thing you can do if you want is to add some sprigs like this. You can stick them in between the clovers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them, and I'm just going to stick them around the edges of the wreath. Now I've assembled these little things inside of the wreath, and it looks a lot more full. Now the last thing you can do is just take a ribbon of sorts and glue it onto the top of her back, or you can even just take a little wire and stick that in so you can hang it on your wall.